You know, Harrison, I think the name Harrison Ford is a very fine name. But isn't it true that early in your career, the studio wanted you to change it to something else, and you came up with your own suggestion?
They thought it was too pretentious for a young man, so they sent me home to think of a new name. And I came back with the name of Kurt Affair, and that was the end of the end of the discussion.
Let's go back to 1966.
Oh, if you insist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dead Heat on a Merry-Go-Round.
Uh-huh.
You had a bit part as a bellboy.
Yeah. You want to hear my whole dialogue? Paging Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones? That was it.
Now, the one of the studio talent people called you in for a critique.
Yeah.
What happened?
He said, I want to tell you a story, kid. He said the first time Tony Curtis was ever in a movie, he delivered a bag of groceries. A bag of groceries. And he said, the first time you looked at him, you said, that's a movie star. And I leaned across this guy's desk and I said, I thought you were supposed to think that that was a grocery delivery boy. And he threw me out of his office, naturally.
Now, I don't know what it was like to be a contract player, but at one point, didn't they want you to get a hairstyle in the...
They sent me down to the barber shop with a picture of Elvis Presley and said, come back looking like that.
And what was your reaction?
It's unprintable.
Okay. Now, with The Fugitive, I know a lot of people are commenting on the beard. How did you find that people reacted in public to the beard?
I was much chagrined to find that they could see right through it, and that it did not work very well as a disguise.
Now, The Fugitive, of course, is based on a TV series. I know everyone's asking you about comparing it. I don't think many people will actually remember the TV series. But I'm wondering, in your career, how many times were you offered TV series roles?
Only once or twice.
What were the series?
I don't remember. I was always happy when I failed to get the part. I was very it was so difficult then that I really I both wanted it and dreaded it. You know, I knew that if I got the part, it would make my life easier. It would be easier on my family. On the other hand, that's not the kind of work I really wanted to do. That I was ambitious to be in films. That I didn't want to do the same thing over and over again as you do when you're in a series. But I wanted to have new and different challenges and work with new and different people.
Yes. I couldn't help but notice during the parade scene, I was watching the temperature sign in the back. And I go, 25
It's
degrees.
not a good sign.
Now, how did you react to shooting in that cold weather?
I had no problem. I'm used to cold weather. I come from Chicago, where we shot. I live in Wyoming now. It wasn't a problem.
You know, another pivotal role for you was American Graffiti. Now, is that true that initially you turned it down because you could make more money as a carpenter?
Yeah. I wanted the job very badly, but I felt that what they were offering me was just unfair. So they thought about it, and they went over the entire budget, and they called me back, and they offered me more money.
But it wasn't...
It was $15 a week more. I took it.
Okay. I've always had a deep interest in the mementos that actors keep from their movies. Now, over the years, can you give me some examples of specific items you've kept from specific films?
I have nothing. I'm not very nostalgic, and I'm also not a collector. So I really have pretty much let everything slip through my hands.
I've always also been interested in when filmmakers go back and they want to shoot additional material for films. Now, that happened with Patriot Games. Now, how do you tell me about that, and how do you feel when those kind of things occur?
Well, I mean, you're always disappointed that you have to go back to work when you think you've finished a film. But in the case of Patriot Games, it was a very simple thing about increasing the physicality of the ending. We had attempted to end the film with a struggle underwater, that was too balletic because of the resistance of the water. It just didn't have the punch and the visceral attack necessary for the end of the film, so we corrected our mistake. It wasn't a big deal.
Now, speaking of fighting in the water, or being in the water, for this film, you have to do some work in some awfully cold water. What kind of special preparations were there involved for that?
There's nothing you can do except to put your wetsuit on and get in there and get it over with as quick as possible.
And one final question is,
Yeah.
a lot of people are asking about the new Tom Clancy film.
Mm-hmm.
What's the status of that?
We start shooting in mid-October on Clear and Present Danger. Philip Noyce is going to direct again. I'm looking forward to it.